What you see here is everything you need to take with you on a week-long hiking or camping trip. I'm going to be traveling to Utah to Zion National Park in less than a week with 3 other guys, and this is what I am bringing with me. There is a good amount of stuff here, and my brothers will be bringing their own stuff as well, but we will share some of the things such as the tent and not the air mattress. They'll have their own. I'm just going to break down everything that I'm bringing with me on my trip to give you guys a good idea of what you should bring on your next trip, or hopefully influence you to go on a nice hiking or camping trip. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the tent. Basically, so I can just get it off the table. We've got a 10-person tent here, which is outrageous, way too big, because we're only going to have 4 people. But this way we can have a sleeping room and then have a room for all of our things like our backpacks, and then we'll have another room kind of like the porch on this tent, and we'll put our shoes out there and dirty clothes. That way we're not stinking up the entire tent with socks that we've worn for the last week. So I'm gonna get rid of this. And with that, I just have extra tent stakes. The tent stakes that they include in tents are normally junk, so just in case, I've got 6 more stakes. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the air mattress. This is just a twin size air mattress, so it'll obviously just be for me, and I also have a pump to go with it. It's just a manual pump, as we won't have electricity out there. You might be thinking that the 10-person tent and the air mattress is way too much to carry, but our campsite is actually only going to be about 400 yards from our truck, so it's not too far to carry this bulky stuff. If we were like backpacking way up in the mountains, I know that Zion's got some campsites that are really far away from the parking lots, a little bit more in the wilderness, and I would not pack all of this stuff, obviously, if I was hiking a few miles to get to my campsite. But since we are only going 400 yards, this is fine, and my little brothers will carry it anyway, hopefully. This sleeping bag is rated up until 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so I should be fine. The weather is going to be no colder than 35 is what the forecast is for Zion. So this should be plenty warm. And I can always wear some of my clothes too while I'm sleeping if I'm getting chilly. To go along with that is my pillow. Not the most comfortable thing in the world, but you can't bring a giant pillow with you every time you go camping. So this is just a little blow-up pillow. To go along with the camp, I do have a little camp chair. Just a little tripod chair. Oh, there's a band around it. Just a little tripod chair that I got from Walmart, just like 10 bucks. It'll probably break the first day, but we'll give it a try. Next, we're going to discuss some of the cooking stuff that I have, and we will just be using a single burner, and then it'll have the green LP tank or propane tank, and we can just put our pots and our pans on here. They actually work very well, but we will need a lighter to light it. As far as the pots and the pans go, my brother is bringing those. As I am in a rental house in Omaha, I didn't bring all my stuff with me, so I am missing a few things, but I believe it's just the pots and the pans that I'm missing so far. To go along with the food stuff, we do have some aluminum foil. What I would use this for is wrapping up food and putting it over the fire. More cooking stuff that we have. We've got a spatula, a tongs, and then a little ladle, and then a brush to clean the pots and the pans. We also have some Dawn dish soap. Another thing to go along with the cooking is clean water. We will need that to cook if we're going to boil anything, or to clean out the pots and the pans afterwards. Of course, you do need a fork and a spoon, and this one happens to have a little serrated edge for a knife as well. I'm bringing these thicker gloves to grab hot pans, hot pots, or cans if we stick them in the fire, just so I'm not burning myself. They're kind of my oven mitts, I guess, for camping. I'm bringing instant coffee to go with our breakfast every morning, and I will be doing a separate video that'll show all of the food that we're bringing with for the trip. I think we're done with the cooking and the more of camp setup stuff for now. One thing that I do enjoy having at camp is just a Frisbee. Just helps you pass the time at night if you don't have anything to do, if you're done hiking for the day, so that's always fun to have. I bring clothes hangers, just 2 of them, just some metal hangers that aren't going to break, And these are for if you have any wet clothes, wet shirt, wet pants, you can just hang them up at camp, and that way they'll dry a little bit faster and they won't end up stinking if you just put them in your bag. Now let's talk about the clothing that we should bring. First, to start off, I've got just some camp shoes, because you don't want to be putting on your boots every time you have to walk out of the tent and take a pee. So these are just some dude shoes. You can just slip them on real quick. The boots that you bring are extremely important. I've got really good tread on these boots, so it does help me climb steeper slopes or climb up rocks. They're very, very grippy, and it's also important to break them in. I would recommend wearing your boots probably 6 months in advance if you have a new pair before you go on a trip like this. The first time I did wear these boots, when I went on a trip actually to Moab and Zion, I got a really, really big blister on my foot. So this time I've definitely broken them in, and they should be ready for action. But get yourself a very nice pair of boots. It's good for your feet, it's good for your back, and it's going to make your day and your hike so much better. They are a little bit pricey, but it's worth it. As far as other clothing, I am bringing just 3 pairs of underwear, and these are all Smartwool underwear, so they are merino wool. So they do wick away the moisture and they stink less, which is awfully important if you're only bringing 3 pairs for a week-long trip. And I'm bringing 3 pairs of socks. These are also Smartwool, same technology and material, a little bit more polyester, but I'm only bringing 3 pairs as well with the same reasoning behind that. I am going to be keeping one of my sets of clothes in my day pack that we've got here in the red, and then I will keep the other 2 sets at camp. I will be bringing 2 pairs of pants. These are some Marmot pants. They're extremely comfortable, very stretchy, awesome for hiking. And the second pair that I'm going to be bringing are some Under Armour pants. They look like dress pants, but they're not, I promise. They've got that ripstop technology, also very comfortable. It's important to have a quality belt. If it breaks and you're at the top of a mountain, your pants are flying down the whole day, doesn't sound enjoyable. As far as shirts go, I'm also sticking with Smartwool. We've got a Smartwool long sleeve shirt, and it's nice and thin. A second long sleeve Smartwool shirt that's also thin. Pretty much the same shirts, just different color. And we also have a thicker material here on this Smartwool sweatshirt. And I'm sticking with the Smartwool because of that merino wool. You sweat less, you smell less, and it's a lot more comfortable. It does come with a bit of a heavy price tag, but I think it's well worth it. Very nice material, and I have had these shirts for quite a while now, and they've definitely proven themselves, so I love them. I'm a fan. Next we have a rain jacket. In this I'll just be scrunching up really small and putting it in my day pack. And the last thing that we have is a down jacket. They do compress very small, so I'll be rolling this up very tightly into a little bag, and I'll also put that in my day bag. If I check the forecast and it is going to be a little bit chilly that day, I'll have it there just in case. And I'll probably actually always keep the rain jacket in my bag just in case. I don't want to be at the top of Angel's Landing or the Narrows and I'm getting soaked by rain. That makes for a miserable day. Necessities that you need to bring with you on your trip, whether you're hiking or camping, are some dry bags. I'll be putting all of my clothes in this bag, as well as the food in this bag here. Very important to keep everything dry. You don't want damp clothes or wet socks, as that can make a trip pretty poor very fast and easily. Another item of clothes that I will be bringing with me, as I don't have any shorts packed, are these shorts right here. I'm going to be wearing them on the drive to Zion. It is like 16 hours, so I'm going to be getting some use out of them. And on the drive, I'll also be wearing this shirt. It's just another Smartwool shirt. Next, we've got our first aid kit, which I will be taking with me on each hike. It is a little bit larger, a little bit heavier, but I think it's well worth it to have all the materials that you might need. I do have a separate video explaining everything that I have in this first aid kit. I will link that to this video. Definitely worth the watch, as it's really important. It's for your safety and everybody that's with you's safety to have a good kit. I'm bringing 2 speakers, just some small portable ones. These I'll keep around camp. I'm bringing 2 because I don't want to have to go charge one in the truck once it's dead, so this way hopefully it lasts the entire trip. Next, we've just got wet ones. I use these to clean out pots and pans, to clean my body sometimes, because you don't always have access to a shower. I don't even think we plan on showering on this trip, so Probably gonna use a lot of these. More hygiene items, we've got some dry shampoo. Definitely a larger size than I needed, but it'll work. Baby powder or Gold Bond body powder. Very important if you're going on long hikes, if it's gonna be hot and you're gonna be sweaty, to prevent chafing in areas that you don't wanna chafe. Then I've got some deodorant, as well as some dental floss, a bar of soap just in case we do end up showering, but probably not. Only time will tell. And you can't forget the toothbrush and toothpaste. I know we're not going to shower, but not brushing your teeth, that's a little much. Bug spray I will keep with me in my day pack, as well as another can at camp, because nothing ruins a hike or a camping trip more than getting bit by mosquitoes all night. Of course, we need some toilet paper. I do have a smaller stack of toilet paper that I'll be keeping in my day pack, but I would say that each person at camp should have their own roll. That way you're not running out, because that would suck. You don't want to be using those leaves out there. I will be bringing just a notebook. I like to keep notes about videos that I'm going to make, ideas that I have, or more trips that we should take. So I just like to keep my ideas on paper, that way I'm not forgetting them. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be using this, but this is just like a walking stick or a trekking pole. I've never used one, but I thought it looked kind of cool, so I bought it. We'll see if I use it. I'll be bringing 2 water bottles. I drink a ton of water and I don't want to be short on water, so I'll be bringing those in each pocket of my day bag. Probably unnecessary to bring 2 for most people, but I like my water, so I'm gonna bring 2. To go along with the water, you also need a flask of alcohol. Not sure what I'm gonna put in here, either Tito's or Crown Apple. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know in the comments, but just got a Stanley flask here that I'll be keeping in the pack. Won't be drinking at the top of Angel's Landing or anything like that, but maybe on the way down. Next, I have a flashlight. I also have 2 headlamps that I'm bringing just in case one breaks. You don't want to be out in the dark on a trail without light. That gets scary. To go with these, we obviously need batteries, and I am bringing plenty of extra batteries. And I should probably bring more because I'm guessing my brothers aren't bringing extra batteries, and the batteries in their flashlights probably don't even work. This flashlight I'm just going to be using in the tent. I'm actually bringing 3 of them, just so you don't have to keep a bigger flashlight or your headlamp by you at night. You can just have a cheap little Ozark Trail flashlight next to you to find your shoes, to go out at night if you have to go to the bathroom. Of course, you need a couple of lighters. I'm also adding a book of matches and some flint as well, just in case the lighters don't work or the matches. Always important to have that flint. I do plan on making a video of the Zion trip, especially the Angel's Landing hike. Very excited about that. But with that, I will be bringing my GoPro, which is a lie. It's actually sitting right there. This is just the case with a few things in it. And then I also have the accessories in here. And in there is just some extra mounts, some extra batteries, and SD cards. I'll be keeping the protective case on it most of the time to prevent it from getting smashed. I also have a smaller tripod that I'll be bringing with, and this one I did like because you can really bend the arms or legs, whatever you call them, whichever way you want. If it's on an uneven surface, on a rock or something like that, you can adjust the legs to make sure your GoPro's not flying off. This stuff definitely does take a good amount of room, but I think it's well worth it to have a full video of the trip. Now we're getting down to the smaller stuff. I'm bringing a thin pair of gloves for those morning hikes or late afternoon hikes that get a little bit chilly. I am bringing a water filtration system. This is a Sawyer straw, and with this you can either fill up the water in this bag and filter it into a water bottle, or you can just suck straight from the straw. With the Sawyer filter straw, I will also have these tablets that help purify the water, because you can never be too safe when you're drinking water out of the stream. I definitely don't want bacteria entering my body and I end up getting sick. I've included Ziploc bags. These are just the sandwich size bags. Add peanuts, M&Ms, or trail mix, and bring them with in our day packs. I've got a Sharpie. Not sure what I'm gonna use it for, but I'll find something. Very important is a portable charger, and of course the cord. Very important. I don't plan on being on my phone the entire trip, but I do plan on just keeping in touch with my family back home so they know that we are safe, and my girlfriend as well. So definitely a necessity. Of course, you have to bring some playing cards. We like to play euchre, blackjack, go fish, that kind of stuff around the fire. I've got some 550 paracord. Always important to bring some rope on the trip. There's many different uses and you never know what you're gonna need it for. I have a lock for the tent. We'll be locking it up when we're out hiking just so nobody's messing with our stuff. I've got a multi-tool. This one is by Gerber. Just got the needle nose attachment as well as a scissors, a knife, a can opener, a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead, and I think that's about it. Maybe a file. The last thing that I'm bringing with me is a knife. This one is made by Benchmade. Very quality knife, very solid. It's done great for me so far. I'm excited to bring it on this trip. Please stay tuned to the channel as we'll be taking this trip in the next week. I'll be recording the entire trip to make you guys feel like you're there with us and you can see what it's like to take a trip to Zion. I will be making a couple of other videos just talking about how to plan a trip like this, what you need, how much money it takes, and just some other information pertinent to a hiking or camping trip that is a distance away that requires a bit of a road trip to get there. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and thank you guys for watching.